Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Harem Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Luby, and I'm joined, as always, by the horniest of homies to sail the seven seas, Mr. Anthony Luby, Luke Farnsworth. Dude, I had to burp the whole time. I was like, I can't do it. Luke, can you introduce our new friend?
Oh, well, I mean, we weren't able to dispatch 3, but we got 1 eggplant seal. His name's Mark.
Mark the eggplant seal you bought on Amazon at round 1.
Yeah, as a complete and total, last minute, had to have it.
What was it, like $7? Wasn't it super cheap?
No, it was like $20.
Holy fuck.
I figured it'd be the size of, like, Neil.
But I used a gift card on it, so it was free.
Oh, so it's free.
This is so awesome. This makes me happy.
I just want to point out, our table is just way too fucking crowded anymore.
It'll be fixed in season 2.
I know, I cannot fucking wait.
Wait. Next week,
one more episode after this one.
Next week's the season finale, and then our training arc starts.
Yeah. And we're gonna train super hard and eat hair.
Actually, if we blow up during season 2, that is our training arc.
Yeah, straight up. So guys, share the fucking podcast all you can. All you can. Just give it a share.
Well, as you guys know, here at the Harem Podcast, we like to have fun. So I'm going to start off this podcast with a joke. It's a knock-knock joke. Who would like to be the one answering? All right, knock-knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Orange, you glad I reminded you guys to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. You can ring that bell for notifications. Why don't you tell your friends if you like the podcast and you think they might like it? Those of you on Spotify, I know I don't usually shout you guys out, but I love you guys. Why don't you give us a follow there? Tell your friends about it.
Not just Spotify.
Apple
Podcast too.
Yeah, busting off, man. Share that podcast, guys. We need your help. We're asking you. I'm Uncle Sam, except I'm not Sam. I'm Uncle Tippy. Uncle Tippy needs your support. Buy Hello Harem War Bonds.
And he also needs your credit card information, the expiration date, and the 3 numbers on the back.
It's important, I promise.
If you want to see the eggplant seal next episode, you will do as we say.
So how was that one? Was that one good?
That was
good. I thought I was going to get roped in. Like, where'd you glad I didn't say
You thought you were going to get ligmud?
I thought, yeah. I was like, that's why I had such a long pause. I was like, oh, God.
Sorry, I saw it on your face. You're like, how is he going to ligma me? Sorry, dude. The king of ligma has to take some breaks sometimes.
I get it. All right, I'm going to start this off with my normal question. Anybody do anything crazy or kooky this week?
No.
Luke?
No.
Okay. Well,
sorry, I had to think. I don't think anything crazy or kooky or wacky. No, I would have told you guys.
I finally do. After a couple weeks of like a dry spell, I got some crazy shit, which is still going on. So we'll see what happens in the following weeks. Anthony sort of heard it earlier today. It's actually quite serious, and I'll just get into it. So TLDR, for those who don't want to listen to the whole story, I almost very well died today. Very, very close. Probably the closest near-death experience I've had in my entire life. So let me get into it. Okay, so we get called to a job, and for those of you who don't know, I'm an electrician. We get called to a job to where this lady in her apartment lost power because she was putting a privacy fence in her back patio, and the guy putting in the fence hit her wire going to her service box, thus losing connection for the power. So our job was to find the wire, fix the wire, and that was it. Well, usually these wires are above ground. They hang from the sky. Well, on certain ones, they are underground where you have to dig. And it is code to put the wires in a protective conduit. Well, some years ago, people like to be cheap and didn't put the wires in conduit, so it was just like not a bare wire, but just the wire and the jacket, which the jacket can corrode, it can break very easily from tools if you're digging, etc. So we were just going to re-splice the wire and get her connection back so she could have power, because she hasn't had power for like 3 weeks. So she had to like live in this hotel for a while. So we're like, okay, we just got to do this. So a company called Oops gets called into the scene. Yeah, they're actually called Oops. They're actually called Oops. So they get called to the scene like 2 weeks ago. And what their job is, they have to find wires in the ground So they like scan the ground with whatever tools they use, and they have to spray paint and put flags and mark where all the wires are. Because if they don't, when you're digging, you're going to hit the wires. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Well, they only marked cable wires with like I think cable needs to be like orange. So there were only orange markings on the ground. And that told us that, hey, there's no wires that we can hit. I mean, obviously we always like are careful when we dig, but we were less careful because there's really no threat. Well, the power company comes and they're just there to check on stuff like big power wise. Like they deal with like the really dangerous stuff.
Ohio Edison?
It was Ohio Edison, yeah.
AEP.
It was Ohio Edison.
I work with them.
So they showed up to the scene. The guy that showed up was super cool. We've worked with him before on jobs. He's really cool. So he shows up. He's like, yeah, when you guys find the thing, we'll turn the power back on. And we're like, okay, cool. So he leaves, and we're digging. And just digging and digging. We can't find this fucking wire. We're like 3.5 feet in the ground, and we cannot find it. And after like 20 more minutes, my boss finally finds this one singular wire, and it's broken. So we think that's the guy. So he pulls it up, like, okay. Our ditch is very deep, but it's not wide. And in order for us to get the other end of the wire, we need to dig more. So we start digging, and I have like a brand new shovel, very pointy tip. And I'm just digging and digging and digging. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to use a different tool because it gets dirt like out of the way easier. It's called a spud bar. You know what a spud bar is?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's like all metal. There's no insulation on it or anything. So obviously it's extremely conductive. Well, I'm using the spud bar. I'm like, blah, 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 moving dirt. And then like, all right, I'm going to get some of this excess dirt out of the hole. So I grab my shovel. And the moment I go down, boom, like a shotgun. The transformer blew. It sounded like a 12 gauge going off, and then in the hole, there's a giant explosion, and dirt shoots up in my face and shit. So I'm like, oh shit. And my boss from like past the fence, we can't see him, but he's like, that doesn't sound good. So I'm like, no, it doesn't sound good. So he comes over to the scene, and at this point, I know I hit like power, obviously. And I'm like, oh no, something happened. Well, it turns out the power that I hit was like a, what's it called? A prime run or something like that. It's the power that goes from the pole to feed all the power in the apartment complex. So there were 7,200 volts running through this power line, and I struck it, and it blew the fuck up. And if I was using the spud bar, which I was 10 seconds ago, I would have died and collapsed immediately. And I was super, super shaken up after that. Like I just kind of like put my tool down. I was like, I'm just gonna sit down for a little bit. And my coworker's like, holy shit, Junior, you are fucking lucky. I'm like, I know. I'm lucky. And it's just kind of been bothering me all day that I very well could have not been here tonight if it hadn't been for me grabbing a shovel instead of using the spud bar. So I learned an important lesson. Don't dig down with something just metal. Always use an insulated tool, fellas, or women if you're digging, because you won't, but you could very well die. And
Had to wet his whistle.
Yeah. After all that happened, Ohio Edison comes back out. They're like, yeah, something happened. We're like, yeah, something did happen. So it turns out that took out power to 3 different buildings, 26 apartment complexes. Basically, the whole surrounding area had no power. They were starting
Blew the whole transformer. Of course, there'd be no power.
Yeah, bad. So Ohio Edison shows up. The guy's like, holy shit, you hit a main line. He's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I was like, I'm good. So he calls his boss. He tells his boss what's going on. His boss asks, is everyone okay? He's like, yeah, everyone thankfully is okay. So his boss comes out to the scene. And the guy that was originally there is super nice and understanding. And his boss shows up, and we're just kind of going over the crime scene, if you will. So we have to take pictures of everything, of the line, of the flags, of the marked stuff, the stuff that wasn't marked, and stuff like that. Because apparently the main power line was incorrectly buried. It wasn't deep enough. It was too close to the other lines. It should have been like in its own ditch because it's such high voltage, and it was not protected.
Yeah, that's severely dangerous. That is
Yeah.
a major code violation.
Mm-hmm. So, the power company tells us, like, yeah, you're going to have to pay for this. We're like, fuck, no, we're not. This isn't our fault. And then the oops guys get on the phone and they're like, oh, you're going to have to pay for this because you didn't tell us to mark the lines. When I believe it is oops's job to mark every single line that they can find.
And they said,
Oops.
They said, oops.
We missed one.
Yeah, so they're trying to pin it on us. The power company is trying to pin it on us. And they're like, this is an emergency. We need to fix this now. So we had to stop what we were doing and just leave because there's nothing more we could do. And they're like, yeah, you guys still have to run that line. And if you hit our wire again, we're going to charge you for it. And we're like, wow, that doesn't make sense because we're going to hit your line because we have to dig. And it's just a whole clusterfuck. And there could be a lawsuit. It's just crazy. Like, it's insane right now.
2 questions.
Yes.
When you guys roll up on the scene after Oops does their thing,
Mm-hmm.
did you find it weird that they only marked cable wires?
Not me personally, because I haven't had enough experience around that. I mean, generally no, because we've worked with them before and they've done it. I guess it was just laziness this time.
Well, when you say they've done it, did they just mark cable wires before, or they usually mark more things?
They usually mark everything in the ground, whether it be water pipes, cable lines, and main power lines. They'll usually mark everything, and each thing has its own color. I think red is supposed to be high voltage power, blue is supposed to be water, and then orange is cable and stuff like that.
So only orange was on the scene?
Only orange, and we looked around. It was only orange.
because they're supposed to mark everything because they could have hit a main water line, and
Yeah.
that would have fucking sucked. No one would have died, but you would have had water
Yeah, it would have
everywhere.
been
and
terrible too.
It'd been annoying.
The second question, when the Ohio Edison guys, obviously they had to repair the main line.
Mm-hmm.
Did they just wrap it in fucking electrical tape, bury it, and go, well, it's already not up to code, so I guess we'll just leave it like this?
I don't know how they do it. I think they had to bring in a whole ass excavator.
They'll have to excavate the whole land and bury it properly.
I think so.
They'll have to. I
Yeah.
know for a fact they will have to.
Especially
That
when
would,
it's such a big company like that.
it would
right?
violate FDA,
Yeah.
and you don't want the FDA after your ass. Trust me.
Can they find out, who did the original oopsie?
They probably could, but at this
Because-
point, it doesn't really matter.
I mean, it's
that,
so old.
That obviously could have killed someone. Some guy
Yeah.
being lazy could have
Very-
killed someone.
And that could have killed me. If I was using the other tool, I would not be here.
or any
straight up.
landscaper doing something out
yeah,
there
anyone
could have died
had
too.
who
And it
digs
was
there.
the completely wrong depth to be buried. It was only, I believe, 21 inches in the ground.
I think the amount of money that they would have to put out to find the person's not worth it.
Mhm. I mean, he could be dead too. I think these buildings were built in the 60s. He's probably dead.
And I
wonder
don't
if
know.
I wonder if that was code back then when these were built.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too.
I highly doubt it.
Because 7,200 volts. That's a lot of electricity.
Yeah, then I think it should definitely be Ohio Edison's job to track down what was built when and find out, hey, is this up to code or
And
not?
who knows? I was probably a couple hundred amps. Alex would have cooked.
Oh yeah, I would have.
Alex would have actually cooked.
I would have.
He
Yeah,
might have been as tender as that chicken we ate tonight.
I could have.
No, he'd been
Very well.
burnt. He wouldn't have been tender. He would have been burnt.
Big dead Alex on the scene.
He would have been a
waffles.
closed casket.
Dude would have been fried.
Yeah, big fried.
No fucking joke. Legitimately, he would have cooked.
Yeah, it was super. Looking back on it now, it's fucking terrifying. I've split my head open before. I got 7 staples, and this was just. I wasn't hurt, but I just feel so much worse.
I think you learned your lesson not to use metal objects to dig for active wires.
I don't want to dig anymore. That's just how I am. I just don't want to dig.
I'm done digging.
I don't trust Oops.
Yeah, oops, kind of.
And it was interesting too because the Ohio Edison map said the main power line was farther away, so their map was incorrect as well.
Sounds like Ohio Edison kind of sucks dick.
It does sound that way. It does sound that way.
Yeah, whatever happened there was not proper.
So that was my crazy thing this week.
But to answer your first question, You physically can't wrap that in electrical tape. It won't do anything.
Hey, I'm just saying Ohio Edison has already fucked up once.
I know, but I'm letting you know,
again?
Alex literally broke the line. You can't just put a line back together.
Yeah, just like turn off the power, take the wires, do the spin, throw some tape on it, and you're golden.
You physically can't do that.
Dude, I did it with my radio. It's all good.
Yeah, I think they like there were when we were leaving, 2 more Ohio Edison trucks pulled up. It was just it was like a murder scene, dude. It was crazy.
That lady's probably like, awesome, these guys are here to fix my power. And then she hears this doom. She's like,
I mean, it was so goddamn loud.
Also, who the fuck who was footing her bill for having to stay in that hotel? Was she paying for that?
The landlord was. She was paying
Landlord would have had to.
for it.
Yeah,
It wasn't her fault.
And she has to stay there for longer because she can't go back.
I'd just fucking move.
Yeah, I'd be looking for a new apartment.
I'd want to. Like, man, I haven't had power for like 4 weeks. I just need to get
4
the
weeks
fuck out
without
of here.
power, man. Living in a hotel, that would suck.
I just want to quote Thorpe in comparing a 72,000 volt wire to his 12 volt radio in his car. I twisted the wire. It worked.
Yeah, it's all metal.
Yeah.
It's all It all comes from the earth.
They're totally the same thing, dude. Totally the same thing. 12 volt radio versus 72,000 volts in the ground.
Yeah, so I just kind of, I mean, it woke me up a bit in a way.
I'm sure it would. That was a very shocking morning.
Well, it could have been a shocking morning. Luckily, it wasn't.
I mean, it still was.
It still
Shit
was.
exploded.
Yeah, it's still extremely shocking.
The shit exploded. Your fucking shovel got shocked.
Yeah.
Did the shovel like launch in the air like a cartoon?
No. Surprisingly, it didn't. When I hit it, it was like the shovel like melted and the tip of it like blew to pieces.
Oh yeah, of course.
But it wasn't as bad as I thought. I
Was
thought
the-
it would be
Did
more.
you hear the explosion by you or from the transformer?
Both.
I don't know what would have exploded by you, but I can tell you right now it was the capacitors exploding in the transformer.
It was like I think it was the fuse thing because we saw it. There's like 2 little holders on this fuse like that tall, and it like popped out, and you could see it dangling there. I don't know if that's called a capacitor. I don't.
You
know
had
anything about
that, and then
those.
the capacitors inside it also blew right the fuck up.
Oh, okay.
You would like it all blew up. You literally blew up an entire transformer.
That's fucking dope.
It was so fucking.
It's
loud.
awesome, dude.
It's crazy, and it was crazier too because earlier this week I saw a bird get blown the fuck up on a transformer, and I saw him fall dead. I think that was on that was Monday.
You
I
need
saw
to
that.
stop working in electrical. You're
I was
killing
gonna say,
animals.
I'm about to just bust
You need
my
to
ass.
quit. You
Guys,
need to
can you guys
quit.
please share the podcast? I don't want to die on the job. Like,
You need to quit, bud.
I need to get out. I need to get out bad. So that's my crazy story. It's still
Really?
going on.
One thing, guys, I haven't shaved in a while.
I'm a little fuzzy.
I got the no shave November going.
Fuck that noise.
Look at this. Like it's like
Are you really not shaving on November?
I haven't yet.
It's only
Did you shave it all in
11/12.
October?
No.
No shave 2021.
No, I can't do that again, dude. Quarantine was bad enough.
That was crazy.
Holy shit.
That
I
was
found the pictures of my quarantine beard a few weeks ago, and I was like,
I remember that.
it looks awful.
That was a beard and a half.
It was nothing but pubes.
You can get some of that beard oil and just massage that in.
I mean, I could. It'd make it softer. My
Yeah.
beard's so fucking hard.
I hate having facial hair.
I do too.
It's so annoying.
Itchy.
To me.
It's not itchy. I think I just like the way I look with it.
You
Some
look
people
good
pull
with
it off. I do not. Mine, I get like super patchy.
I hate
in
when
some
people are like,
areas.
yeah, it'll itch for like 6 weeks and then it'll be fine.
Like 6 fucking weeks. I'm not putting up with it for that long.
I don't want to be
I
itchy
don't
that
itch.
whole time.
Even when I
Really?
even when I clean shave, I don't itch.
God, mine's so
I
bad.
hate it.
Yeah, I can't deal with it.
The other thing I get is I get some dry skin like right here. So if I
I
scratch,
do too under here, and
if I scratch my skin, like dandruff.
I grow a neck beard like nobody's business, so I have to keep that clean.
I clean mine up.
Luke's is always clean.
I
I've
clean.
noticed.
I
Yours is
clean. I
always
keep
clean.
myself clean because
Yeah.
I like the way I look.
Yeah.
And
Luke
to
keeps his beard clean.
to
I've
keep my
noticed
mom
that.
off my back about my facial hair, I just have to keep it clean
Mhm.
because she hates facial hair.
Does she really?
hmm When I had my quarantine beard, she would look at me and go, "You look fucking ugly," and I go, "I know."
Thanks, ma'am.
Did you just not want to shave it? You're like, fuck it, we're in
I
quarantine.
was like, this is my
meme.
meme. That was my meme for quarantine. My
Good
quarantine meme was I wasn't going to shave my beard until I could see the homies.
Yeah, and you
Oh,
did.
yeah, that's right.
And then I
Yeah.
shaved one the very first time we got to hang out after I shaved.
Yeah, I remember that. What was the first time we hung out after that?
I don't even fucking remember. That whole year.
That
like,
whole
the
year was
span
a
of like
fucking
March
mess.
to like May.
Just didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm just like, that didn't exist.
Might as well have not happened.
Yeah, it literally
And
is.
somewhere in there we started a podcast.
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah, it literally is like a fever dream. That whole year. Same with this one, dude. It's still fucked up.
I can't believe it's almost December.
Yeah,
I know,
holy
that's
shit.
weird.
I was like, I was thinking about it. I was driving out. I was like, man, it's almost time for like winter homie hangouts.
Yeah.
We get to cuddle up in
Or
blankies,
whoops.
binge anime,
Binge anime and whoops.
in woobs, and have oops come out.
Oops will come out and mark it all, except they'll miss it.
Except they'll miss it, and you'll accidentally dig into your TV wire.
Yeah, so just in case there is a lawsuit, because there might be, I don't know, I heard words. I'll probably refrain from talking about it from here on out, because I don't want any legal liability to hit the cast. Just in case. I don't
Hey,
know what it is. I don't know what that
No
is.
such thing as bad publicity.
You can say that when you're getting sued, because I'm not.
Hello Harem has to appear in court.
I'll take to the stand. Be like, hey, I have a podcast. Listen here.
Go and check us out.
Episode 68.
Yeah,
I
you could
give
play
the whole
it.
story.
For court and be like, yeah, I explained it very thoroughly on my podcast. Show it to the courtroom.
Our co-host Luke, you guys should all follow the podcast. Judge, Your Honor,
Your Honor.
if you
Your
will.
Honor. Can you pull up right now?
I won't hit
Subscribe.
play until you subscribe.
Subscribe. Subscribe right now.
Share it on Facebook,
MySpace.
Twitter.
MySpace,
Twitter.
My Twitter.
A cesspool.
Well,
Do we want Twitter or Anime of the Week? Which one do we want to do first?
Twitter?
Remember the dude with the Twitter post?
Twitter, dude.
Oh, yeah, I was actually literally just going to bring that up. But do Anime of the Week.
Anime of the Week?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so, whoa, Hershey Kiss.
You've been hiding that
I
under
know,
this
I
whole
have.
fucking time.
didn't
Whoa,
wanna eat it
Hershey
yet.
Kiss.
So anyway, it's Tippy's Anime of the Week. My Anime of the Week is, I haven't watched this show in a while, so some details I might be a little spotty on. My Anime of the Week, though, is Baka and Test. Half off tasteful trap shots. And by trap, I mean male dressed as female, or male just with very feminine qualities.
Is that redacted? Can we do that?
Get the black marker. I'm going to put that right there.
Just redacted.
Baka and Test is about pretty much stupid kids. It's in the title. Follows our main protagonist in the show. I think his name's Yoshi. He goes to a high school, and the weird thing about this high school is that what grade you're in is not determined. It's not just randomized or anything. It's determined by how smart you are. So obviously, Class A gets like the best privileges, and Class F gets the worst. And in order to choose who goes to where, they have a test in the beginning, and your grade determines which grade you go in. And our man Yoshi goes to F because he's stupid as a rock. And it just kind of follows the shenanigans between Yoshi and the Class F. And pretty much the whole goal of the show is to get Class F. They want to go get the same rights as Class A, because Class A is like air conditioning, nice desks, a library, they get snack time and all this stuff. And Class F has like wooden desks that break and no chairs and stuff. And it's a fun little show. And in order to go up to that, they have to have like these battles where they summon it's like a chibi character. They each have like their own little chibi character.
They summon their stands.
They summon their stands, and they
Stands.
have like these battles, but the battles aren't fighting. They're more like quizzes over like history, English, and
Math, science, history.
Math, science, history.
Unraveling the mystery that all
All
started with a big bang.
Baka and Test. So they have those battles, and if they fail, or if their like grade gets to 0, they have to take remedial classes with this one really crazy substitute teacher, and like if they get enough like of a good grade, they can move up a class, like to maybe Class D or C. And it's just kind of like that whole thing going on, like the shenanigans that Class F will do to get up to Class A. super, super, super funny show. The OP is a banger.
The OP is a banger.
Yeah, I know you've
I
heard
listen to
the
it all
OP.
the time. Well, I did a while ago. Like all the time, I would listen to it.
This show, I'm honestly gonna give this one like a 9 out of 10.
Wait. I got a better scale.
What?
What grade would you give this show?
Ooh, where A would be like a 10 and like F would be like
Sure, everything is 2. We're just going by 2s.
What?
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 A, B, C, D. Yeah, shock. There's 6.
Just say F. You can skip E.
Yeah, A, B, C, D, F.
Okay.
E doesn't exist here.
Okay, so I can
That's
only go
in
to 8 or
European
10.
countries.
No, you can. Oh my god.
Oh, so it would be like an
A would
Do
be
you give
10.
it an A? Or do you give it a B?
A would be 10. F would be like 2 or 0.
Or we could do it based off percentages if you'd like.
but I want to do an odd number.
You can't.
Then I'd go A. Then I'll give it an A.
Okay. You,
Like
I mean, you could go
A
like,
minus?
You could A minus or B plus.
I'll do A minus because I think it deserves an A instead of a B.
I think
An
B
A-
plus sounds better than A minus.
I don't.
You don't?
I've gone to school for long enough. I think I can say A minus is better than a B.
It's
I-
not
I'd go
that
with
it's
an
better.
A.
I said it sounds worse.
I do not.
I'm still gonna go with an A minus.
You're just saying that because it has the word minus.
Yeah,
in
I
it,
know, and that's a negative
but it
connotation.
still has A in it.
But B plus
But it has a B.
or A minus. How
Would you rather
What
see
the
an-
fuck is the difference between A minus and B plus?
A minus is usually start around 90%, and B plus is end at around 89.99%.
So fucking dumb.
A minus. I enjoyed the show a shit ton. Actually, it's really funny. I love all the characters. Our main character Yoshi is hilarious. He's a goober. Super fun show. This one I definitely recommend if you haven't watched it. It's an older show, so it gives you like a weird nostalgic feeling when you watch it, which I really like from animes. I love getting like back in the day, even though I didn't know it existed. I just love that feeling, and it gives me that because it's a good show, and they do it right. A lot of funny scenes. Luke. Would you guys watch Baka and Test? It's a little longer. I think it's like 26 episodes.
I feel like I can't take a recommendation from you.
I've had it on my list for a while.
What do you mean you can't take a recommend? What?
Because you ask us, like, here's the thing.
I don't go like, dude, do you guys have any good anime to watch? Like, I
No,
have a
like,
full
legit,
fucking list. I don't
you
need
will-
your recommendations.
You will ask, and then we'll tell you, because I vividly remember you walking into my room and asking, like, hey, you should check out this show. And then you go and watch Kakegururi and take 4 weeks to finish it.
I was getting hounded by Luke to watch Kakegurui for so long.
I've been hounding everyone to watch Kakegurui, not just you. So don't you try to say I've been hounding just you, you fucking troglodyte.
Well, he's making it sound like just me too. So you
He
gotta
has
yell
been
at him.
hounding
well, yeah,
me.
both of you.
I've
First off,
seen it.
everyone should watch Kakegurui. It is a fantastic show. Marvelous, even.
I've seen it.
It's very horny.
Yeah,
Super.
I know. It's getting a...
Class president is the
Thing.
best character in that show.
I
Don't even
wouldn't call it
fucking
an
fight
OVA,
me.
but
It's getting a thing.
it's not an OVA.
Luke, who's your favorite character in Kakegurui?
Probably Jabami.
Jabami. She's cool.
She's
She's
the
based.
black-haired one.
She's
Yeah.
based. Don't get me wrong.
She's super based.
She's a 10 out of 10 class president with like the silver gray hair with the blue lipstick and blue eyeshadows, and 11 out of 10.
She scared me.
She's awesome.
She looked creepy.
She's awesome.
She is awesome.
She's
I
so
didn't,
based.
I didn't like the aesthetic.
I did so much.
I
I digress.
I like Jabami because she got super horny when she
Jabami.
gambled.
Mary Saotome.
Very, 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 very horny.
I like when she's angry
Yeah.
at the one crazy bitch.
Because
She
it
just-
wasn't gambling
Yeah,
and she
she-
got mad, not because she was cheating, but because it wasn't gambling.
Yeah, like just detests her. Will
She
not
just-
even speak to her.
She just has a gambling addiction.
Yes.
And gets
Super
really
bad.
horny when...
Very,
Gambling
very,
occurs.
very bad
Yeah,
gambling
she likes taking
addiction.
risks.
Where like she actually gets dummy horny.
Hmm. I think she mentions a few times how moist she is.
Yes.
Epic. She's the cinnamon. Kakegururi.
Oh,
She-
yeah.
She does actually talk about how horny she is while she's gambling.
Pretty great.
It's not like they're like, oh, they're showing she's horny, haha. No, she states that she is horny.
Fuck, I'm horny. Bet 50.
I'm honey.
Bet 50.
No, they gamble like with like $1 million.
They're
Yeah,
in fucking high school. Where are they getting
They're
this
all
money?
super like rich kids.
they're rich kids. And also they've won it from rich kids.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like they do asinine amounts of money, like billions of yen.
that's epic.
It's insane.
Quite.
Quite.
Simply. That's fully Andy B out.
Now I'm very stressed about my anime of the week next week since it's the season finale.
Yeah, Luke does have the last anime of the week for
of the
season 1.
season.
Yeah, it's
And
gotta be an absolute.
What if he just
banger.
comes out with just something like guys, it's my hero. Like just some out of the blue, like
guys, I have to
so-
tell you something. I love children. My hero is anime.
the Among Us anime.
I love children.
I love the Among Us player.
I love children.
What's like an average, like an anime that wasn't bad, but it wasn't really good either? There would just be like so awful for the final anime of the week.
Something that's like so meh. You
Yeah,
could never
you just
believe
watch
that
it and you're
I
like,
would
That's a
say
good
that.
question. What do
All
you
right, time to
think?
go to my fucking list and see if I've watched anything I could say is so meh that it'd be the biggest disappointment ever.
I'm trying to think. I cannot like the only thing coming to my head are like bangers.
Well, yeah, that's how it works. You never think about the shows that are like, "Ugh."
I think it would have to be something that was seasonal fairly recently, because those are something we choose to like watch just because they're in that season, not necessarily because we're like, that looks really good, I want to watch that.
Blade Dance of Element Tailors.
That was pretty meh.
That was very meh.
It wasn't like good, but it wasn't that really bad.
Such an obvious DiGiorno's pizza ad, though. It was just too much for me.
The worst part about that is that I predicted that as a joke. I made a joke and it predicted that it was going to be named Giorno's. Or Giorgio's, sorry.
You can't out pizza the crust. What? No, you
Hot
can't.
Pockets! Because we were watching, I was like, oh, here's my stupid fucking stand. It delivers pizza to you. And then Giorgio's was the next one. I was so fucking mad.
I know there was a show that I watched where I was like, this is cool. But I'm like, this isn't great. Have you seen Kanagawa Jet Girls?
No.
I heard that
Because I was
horrible.
going to watch it and you said it was bad.
It's not really good.
I heard it was not good at all. Really,
I wouldn't say it's not good at all. I thought, man, there was a show animated exactly like that, but it was instead of like racing jet skis on the Kanagawa River, it was motorcycles. The fuck was it called?
It wasn't Akira, was it?
No,
That's
no.
the only motorcycle anime I know.
No, this one was like Moe motorcycle.
Do you know they're
rules.
actually doing a remake of Akira?
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm. They're remaking it and they're going to do the entire story.
That's based, dude. I heard that's one of like the greatest. That's a movie, right?
It's a 26 episode anime from the 90s,
Okay.
which is why I haven't watched it because I don't like 90s animation personally.
I do, dude. I fuck with it.
Not a big fan of
I
it.
really like it.
But because they're remaking it, I'm going to watch the fuck out of it because I've heard it's very,
I've heard
very
the same
good.
thing.
I've heard it's like one of the ones you have to watch.
Yeah, just like nothing wrong with it is what I heard. Just amazing
It's
every
supposed to be
single way.
phenomenal.
It's kind of it's I think it started with a B. A B.
I was.
B.
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea what
it's
you're
really
thinking of.
it's really bugging me. But it was animated the same way. It was just basically etchy bullshit with motorcycles. It was like I don't know, it was pretty stupid. It was really bad.
Etchy bullshit motorcycle anime.
It sounds like it'd be great, but it really wasn't.
Oh wait, there's something with the B.
What's it called?
Bakuan?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I watched it because I was on Reddit and there was a motorcycle scene where she was washing the motorcycle with her body, and I was like, "Oh, that's okay. Yeah, we gotta watch this."
Oh yeah,
Dude, it was actually really bad. Like it was the first anime that I watched where I was like, "That was not good," and I kind of felt bad about myself. I was like, "Man, every single show I've watched so far has been awesome, but this one was not great."
Wait, Bakuan is just fucking Super Cub if it was shitty.
Yeah.
Girl
That's-
is lonely.
that's
gets
all it
gets
is.
a motorcycle.
They're allowed to ride motorcycles to school. She's a cheerful freshman. She becomes awed by the other students riding their bikes, so she joins the motorcycle club and gets a license.
I love how there's a fucking motorcycle club.
Yeah. And there's one character who never takes her helmet off. Ever.
That would drive me crazy.
She never takes it off.
I think that's funny.
It's like the one where it's like the sport bike helmet where the visor's black
Yeah.
and the
I could
big
just
old
hit-
helmet.
I was picturing that exactly in my head.
I could hit Other Side Picnic as the final anime of the week.
Honestly,
Oh
I think
my
that would fit
God.
the bill
Oh my
very
God.
well.
Luke just hit it on the fucking nail.
The most meh-ass show you'll ever watch. Other Side Picnic.
Like, if you hear about that, if you're explaining it to someone, that would sound really cool. And then you watch the show and you're like, it's all right, I guess.
Why am I watching
Some of
this?
like the first episode, I was so hopeful.
It was
like-
so disappointing.
It was.
It was, man. It really was. But it wasn't like bad.
What if I just whip out Sleepy Princess for the finale?
Fuck it. We got the eggplant seal.
We do. We just need 2 more so we can dispatch 3 of them.
Yeah, we do need more.
Rocket Turtle.
Can they get here in a week?
If we could find a Rocket Turtle plushie.
Oh my. What if we just taped like an M80 to his back?
Tortuga would go boo.
Tortuga.
Rocket Turtle IRL.
A bottle rocket.
We're sending Tortuga to space.
No, he's just getting
He's
blown up.
Tortuga, the cosmonaut.
He's recycled.
Is he?
Yeah.
If I just do all of Fate.
Did we get him from Tybee?
Yes.
Did we?
Yeah, he was our Tybee.
Yeah, I think Apo was Maine.
Yeah.
Apo was Maine and Cherry was
Chitty.
I thought that was Outer Banks.
Charleston.
Yeah, that was Charleston.
Really?
Wait. No,
Chit-
we went to...
We never went to the Outer Banks.
You did with
I didn't bring back any stuffed animal, I didn't think.
We didn't
Oh.
bring back any stuffed animals from Charleston.
I don't remember us doing
Apo
that.
was the first one.
Yeah.
Maine.
And Maine
Apo
was
was
after
from, then where'd we
Charleston.
get Chatty?
Maybe we got them both from Tybee.
I swear to God, I think Tortuga and Cherry came at the same time.
They might have.
They're twins.
Where the fuck did...
Wait, no, Chatty has something on his claw. I know he has something on his claw.
Do we pull them out of the blender?
Pull him out of the fucking
open the
blender.
blender.
Take him out of the goddamn blender. It's got to be cramped in there by now. He's probably dirty. Outer Banks. I
knew
did
it.
buy him.
I knew
I
it.
did
Yeah,
buy
I
him from
thought
the
it-
Outer Banks.
God, dude, I forgot he was like.
Crap.
Can we let him vibe out from inside of there? Can we let him out? Can we let him out? Look, he's cute.
Who's going in the blender then?
Nobody.
Sailor Moon.
Put Sailor Moon.
Not Tortuga.
No, Tortuga. not the blender.
Is the blender coming with us to season 2?
I want to get rid of it.
Why?
It's a fucking blender.
Yeah, but it's not about the item. It's about the story. It's the
Every
adventure
item's got a
along the
story,
way.
and every item's got a price. This is
This is
what's
Jeff
that
Bezos.
show? No, what's that show? Where they
Fucking
Pawn Stars.
Pawn Stars.
podcast pickers.
Rick something from Pawn Stars.
Today we're in Northeast Ohio, and we're stopping out at the Hello Harem Podcast. I hear they got
Yeah,
a lot of old school stuff on their table.
We got a blender.
Holy crap, Chuck! This blender is like 1950s vintage.
I'll give you 10-5. 11.
11. Oh, you're really.
I can't do it. 10,
Could you do 7? 750.
7.
You're busting my balls,
that
man.
was. Can you do 7? That was lower than the original offer.
I just had to call up Tiffany at the shop and let her know I spent $1,000 on a blender.
She's gonna be so pissed, but I know she'll love it.
I already got a
It'll
buyer
sell
lined up.
hard. I know it'll sell.
Every-
Hold on, wait. Let me call in my guy. He has to come and look at this fucking blender first.
People bend over backwards for a Black & Decker.
And then his guy comes, he's like, this blender's worth at least $20,000. And he walks out, you're like, all right, give me $15,000. And he's like, I'm sorry, I just can't do it. I can't see someone spending $20,000 on a blender.
I can't part with it. It's just got so much history here.
Like it's got a turtle in it.
15,000. He's
Luke,
like,
did you ever watch American Pickers?
I didn't watch American Pickers. I did watch Pawn Stars.
Pawn Star, yeah.
His Chum Lee was fucking hilarious.
He's like a criminal. I think he went
He
to
was
jail.
It
a
was
crack addict.
Yeah, it was like
That
crack.
too.
It was drug charges. He went to
It
jail
was
for.
drug
it?
charges he went to jail for.
Probably because his foams were so fire.
Yeah, his foams were always on point.
Yeah, man had nice feet.
Yeah, man had nice feet.
He knows all about shoes. You're
I
just
meant to say foams, but I said foams earlier. So I'm like, oh, it's another word that starts with F.
yeah, he's got really nice feet.
Chumley of all people having nice
Well, on that note, we'll take a beer break real quick. I know the cameras probably need to go to the fridge
Okay.
dimension.
Yeah, toss them in the fridge.
Beer break.
All right, welcome back from the beer break.
The beer break.
The beer break.
So, I had something I wanted to bring up. Oh, yeah?
Anthony just hits with a saw.
A saw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so recently I went and saw a lot of movies recently, like 3 in the past 3 weeks.
We have been on the movie grind.
And that's more than what I've seen in like all of 2020.
Well, you couldn't go to a
Same.
movie.
Yeah, or even like 2019. This just past couple weeks have just been to the movies a lot. And I have a bone to pick. None of them have been good.
No.
Not a single one.
No.
So it started with Antlers, a movie I was very excited to see. I didn't have really high expectations. I just thought the storyline and the subject would be cool and interesting. And for the most part, it was. Then the ending happened, and it completely ruined the movie. Like 100%. Totally annihilated any sort of cool factor that this movie had. Killed it. And then the next week, for a bit, Kyle was like, you guys are coming to see Eternals with me, the new Marvel movie. And me and Luke were like, all right, we'll go. So Kyle couldn't go, and me and Luke just went. And that fucking sucked.
It was bad.
The whole movie was awful.
Like, the whole thing was just bad.
Luke, you saw Antlers with Anthony too, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
So
Yeah.
we were 0 for 2. And an ad comes on during Eternals for Clifford the Big Red Dog. So Sunday rolls around, and Kyle is like, who wants to go see Clifford? I was like, I'll go.
I said I was in. You never told me.
Yeah, it was the only day Nate could go.
You could have told me. I would have been able to go.
I didn't make the party invitation.
Because I brought it up first, actually.
Anyway, I
brought it up and you didn't invite me?
We went to see Clifford. All right? You didn't fucking miss anything. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I don't give a shit. I'm mad. I brought up the plans and you didn't invite me to my own plans.
I didn't make the plans. Kyle made the plans.
I brought up going to see Clifford and I said, haha, does Kyle want to go see Clifford? You said yes. I said, all right, I guess we're going to see Clifford. And you never messaged me.
Kyle brought up Clifford, not me. All right? Anyway, Clifford sucked, although I did not expect it to be anything decent. The dog's head was very small in proportion to the size of its body, and it looked extremely unnatural.
Did Clifford look like an actual dog?
Clifford looked really good.
Like, I think it was a Disney movie where the fur on the whatever animal just looked immaculate. Did Clifford's fur look like it would just bask in the wind?
It looked good. Clifford's fur did look good. But I think Clifford had better fucking acting than Eternals.
What is the storyline for Clifford?
Basically, little girl is sad. She gets bullied at school.
Okay.
And her uncle comes to babysit.
I assume it's that blonde girl, right?
Yeah, Emily.
I don't care about her name. I don't care.
Anyway, her and her uncle are walking to school, and they see this tent up in the park, and they go in, and there's this magical wizard man who has this tent with giraffes and...
Whoa.
I can't even laugh at it. I'm actually angry that you didn't invite me.
I didn't fucking make the plans. Don't be mad at me.
I'm mad. I'm angry.
Okay, well, be angry. I'm explaining Clifford.
I want to hear Clifford.
She goes and she sees all these animals and she's like, oh, this is cool. I want an animal. And he hands her Clifford. And the uncle's like, sorry, no, we'll get evicted if you take home this dog. So they leave the dog and she comes home and the dog's in her backpack. And she starts crying, and a tear gets on his snout. And when they wake up, he's fucking enormous.
No.
He grows with love. And then he just starts causing havoc.
Hold on.
It takes place in modern day New York City.
Does it really?
Yes.
No, it doesn't really.
In an apartment.
Okay.
Big red dog.
Okay, that's not my gripe with it. That's not my only gripe with it so far. In what world is a tear love?
It's not. The tear represents, like,
How does a tear from a girl getting bullied represent love on
It was her only
snout?
friend. She was lonely. She had the dog.
So she was crying tears of happy.
Not really. She was sad, but she's like, hey, this dog is my only friend.
I don't know. I'd be able to tell you if I got fucking invited after I said that I wanted to go.
Luke, we'll go see Clifford together. How did the dog? Did she take the dog?
No, it just appeared in a backpack. Like I said, the wizard did it. He has magical powers.
Yeah, he's a
Was
wizard.
she drawn to the dog right off rip?
No, he introduced her to the dog.
Okay.
And then she liked the dog. Who doesn't like puppies?
Yeah, red, big, small.
It wasn't
red,
big. It was
small,
it was
regular.
Normal
Was it like
puppy.
a puppy?
It was a puppy.
Puppy.
Even when he got really big, he was still a puppy. Just an extremely large puppy.
What'd they do with him? Where did he go?
Well, they took him to the vet.
Wait, hold on. When he was big,
Yeah,
what is the approximate size of? He can't fit through doorways.
he did.
How?
I don't know. He just walked.
He wasn't that big yet.
So he grows.
He doesn't grow in the movie. Like, he's a very big puppy.
We talking like Great Dane or like
I'm talking like
buffalo?
I'm talking like slightly smaller than an elephant.
He can't fit through a fucking door.
Well, he did. I didn't write the goddamn movie. Anyway, they take him to the vet.
Did they walk him?
They walked him down the road.
Okay.
Well, they loaded him into a van.
A cab or something. Okay.
The uncle
dude,
lives in a van. He's homeless. They put him in his house. His house car.
So, hold on. So she lives with her uncle.
No, she lives with her mom. The uncle was babysitting.
How'd they get the fucking dog in the van if it's the size of an elephant?
You are reading too far into Clifford.
It was. I said it's slightly smaller than an elephant. Like, I mean, I don't have fucking statistics on how big elephants are, but it was a big puppy,
Okay.
and he went in. It was like a U-Haul type beat, and he put him in.
It was a box truck.
It was a box truck. You know those repository trucks that you see?
Could you get to what the plot of it is?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah. They take him to the vet, and then there's this company, and this guy is trying to, I guess, genetically modify food so we can feed the world. But he's the villain of the movie. And he sees a viral image of a large red dog in a park popping a ball. And he's like, I want the dog. So they go and they try and kidnap the dog, and then they send him to China. And then the dog gets kidnapped on the container ship via helicopter. And they have to go save Clifford.
Dude.
God, wish I could have went and seen it, but I didn't get fucking invited.
I just have so many gripes with this movie, and I haven't even seen it.
Now the show I'm watching is not going to be my anime of the week next week, just so you don't know it.
I'll find it.
I
Out of pure
I
fucking
don't
anger.
get how they could store the dog.
I mean,
You are hung up on the wrong part of
really.
the story.
well, the whole part of the show is that Clifford's a big dog.
yeah.
In the show, Clifford stays in a giant doghouse outside.
That comes at the end. He gets his doghouse.
But you don't give a shit about the main character's name? You don't give a
No.
shit about Amelia?
No, because
Or Emily or
the
whatever
name of the
her name is?
movie is
It starts with an
Clifford.
E.
Why would I
It's
care
Emily
about her?
something. Emily.
I really want to say Watson.
No, it's not. It's Emily. Oh, fuck. Now I got to look it up. I
It's
have
a
to look it up.
three-parter.
Clifford, the big red dog. Not Dave Chappelle. Why did Dave Chappelle come up? Emily Elizabeth.
Yes.
Emily
that's
Elizabeth.
it.
Okay, yeah.
There it is. It was going to fucking bug the shit out of me if I couldn't figure it out.
Does he get bigger?
I don't know. He's a fucking puppy. The show literally. The
Big
movie takes place over the course of like 17 hours. I don't think he's gonna grow that.
How do you
big.
get to China and get kidnapped
Well, he
in
didn't get.
17 hours?
He never got to
Oh,
China.
so he was still on the ship.
Yeah, he was put on the boat, and I guess as he was sailing across, helicopters came in and lifted him.
What the fuck?
And then
Oh my god. Is this
God.
what Hollywood has come to?
But like, I guess the point in me bringing up these three movies is that I have not seen a good movie at the fucking movie theater in a long goddamn time. And it kind of pisses me off that I pay to go see movies. They end up fucking sucking. I didn't expect much with Antlers. I really didn't. I just thought it would be cool. And it was until the ending, and it fucking ruined it. I didn't expect shit with Clifford. But, like, that's just a movie I happened to go see in the span of the 3 weeks. Eternals,
You expect something good from that.
I'm not like a Marvel fan.
It didn't even look good in the trailers.
Really?
The trailers looked
Even
bad for
Kyle
it.
thought it didn't look great.
No, it looked like it was going to be a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like 50-50 with Marvel. I go in, I don't love Marvel, and I don't hate it. I'm like, it's a movie. If I like it, cool. If I don't, whatever. So I'm unbiased towards Marvel or against Marvel. I thought Eternals fucking sucked. The acting for one of the characters, her name was Sprite, was so terrible.
It was like the worst acting I've ever seen.
Really?
Horrible. And they had Angelina Jolie in the movie, and she was a schizophrenic idiot who had no lines.
And you would think she was a bad actor. It made her look like a bad actor.
And it just felt like there were plot holes everywhere. Like nothing made sense.
They had a lot of time jumps too for fucking whatever reason.
Is this movie like a one-off shoot of Marvel shit?
No,
or does
it's
it, like,
now
tie
it's
in?
now tied in. They tied it in at the end
With Thanos,
Oh,
with Thanos'
God.
brother.
Oh,
who is
God.
Harry Styles.
What?
I mean,
Yeah.
that didn't bother me. Maybe Harry Styles is a good actor. I've never
Yeah,
seen him act
Thanos'
before.
brother is Harry Styles.
He's got like a little troll buddy too, who's totally scuttled.
Yeah,
Like,
Drinking.
ugly?
No, he was drinking.
Oh,
yeah, he was
a
proper scuttled.
alcoholic
Yeah.
troll.
Yeah,
Nice. We get a lot of those around here.
Alcoholic trolls.
Yeah.
alcoholic trolls.
Yeah, I'm tired of seeing shitty movies. I want to see a good movie.
I feel like the last.
No,
good-
the last good movie I saw was fucking Cheeto Baca.
I was about to bring that up.
Yeah,
That was probably the last good movie we saw. Did we see anything else in theater? Like,
Oh, we saw Godzilla vs. King Kong.
that wasn't even great. The thing,
that was okay.
yeah, the new Godzilla movies. The thing that pissed me off the most about that is that Kong and Godzilla became friends. Like, what the hell?
Well, they didn't become friends.
They made a truce.
Not really. Godzilla asserted dominance over
Oh, yeah. You did.
Kong, and Kong was just kind of like, all right,
Yeah,
I guess.
but Godzilla should have just fucking killed him. He shouldn't have just let him get away. Like, Godzilla's Godzilla. He's the king of monsters, man.
Did he let him? I don't
Yeah,
think he.
no, Kong lived.
Well, yeah, but I don't think he like let him get away. Remember, Kong's heart stopped, and the power of love brought him back to life, or whatever.
Yeah, and
but
then Godzilla should have just killed him.
but Godzilla was also distracted fighting Mecha Godzilla, so like it's
But-
not like he could really be like, ah ha ha, time
No,
to
but I'm
turn
not-
my direction to kill this monkey real
I'm not
fast.
saying while they like mid fight. I'm saying after the fight, after Mechagodzilla was dealt with, Kong, like Godzilla and Kong, like came to like a truce. So yeah, I'm just gonna go back in the water, and Kong's like, blah, blah. Like he should have just killed Kong.
I mean, it's not really what Godzilla does.
but he's the king of monsters.
Yeah,
And
he's
Kong was
already asserted
asserted
dominance.
dominance
He's already
over
asserted
Kong.
dominance. There's no point in him killing him. That's just a waste of his
that's
energy.
Fair. That's fair. I can take that.
Like you're telling him to just exert extra energy he doesn't have to kill a fucking monkey he's already beaten and proven that he's stronger than.
Yeah, and if Kong wants to run up on him,
He'll catch the fade again.
Yeah.
He'll just catch a second fade. You
All,
want
all the people who thought Kong would win can just eat
that made
dirt.
me mad.
They
that
can
made
eat
me
dirt.
mad. They can eat turds.
Turns?
They can eat turds.
Turds?
Turds.
What-
Poops. Poop.
Like who the fuck?
Who the fuck thought a fucking monkey was gonna beat a
Yeah.
goddamn lizard that shoots lasers?
I did love seeing the memes before that movie came out. Like you remember the scene in the preview where Kong does like a backflip off the boat. It was like monk flip.
Whoa.
Yeah, I loved seeing the memes, but I knew in my heart Kong was never gonna win.
No, he never stood a fucking chance.
No, he's a
The monkey did not stand a chance.
No, he's Kong.
Oh,
dude.
he's got the axe of the ancients or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
This is
I
Godzilla.
hated that plot point, how they went to like the core of the earth where the dinosaurs or weird monsters roam, and they got the magical weapon.
Yeah,
Yep,
but
they
they
got
had
the
to do
diamond
all that
pickaxe.
just to show Godzilla shoot a fucking laser to the center of the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did get to see Godzilla shoot a laser to the middle of the earth.
Didn't
That was cool.
was it Ken Nakamura?
He wasn't in that movie.
He wasn't.
No, he did not want to be in that movie, I guess.
I
Monk
I
flip.
thought that one was better than the first Godzilla.
I don't. I think the other two were better.
Really?
Oh yeah, IMO.
What were the other two? I remember one.
They fought the radioactive monster lizard things.
Yeah, that was one.
And then the
was
second
the
one was
second one.
King Ghidorah, I thought.
It
Yeah.
was.
I thought,
Yeah,
the
that
second
one was the best.
the second one was
because they
King
brought
Ghidorah.
Gigan and King Ghidorah.
And Rodan.
Yeah,
Fucking
they brought
love
Rodan.
King Ghidorah,
King
dude.
Ghidorah's
He's
based.
bad to the bone.
Monster Zero,
Monster- yeah.
baddest bitch in the dog.
Straight up. He's the baddest. He's the baddest boat in the dock. Other than my man Godzilla, but
Imagine setting sail on the King Ghidorah.
it was the biggest battleship of the time.
That'd be a fucking sick name for a
That
vessel.
would be
that
actually a
would.
really cool name
The
for
King
a
I'd
ship.
Ghidorah.
be proud to serve on
That'd
the
be
King
cool.
Ghidorah.
What country do you think would have the King Ghidorah?
It sounds like a German boat.
It does
Low-key.
of sound German.
Yeah, King
Oh,
Ghidorah.
we already got Prinz Eugen. King Ghidorah would just...
Prince Eugen was a small
Admiral
boat.
Graf Spee.
Yeah, it would just kind of
Prince
flow.
Eugen was a small boat, though.
Yeah, but it's a
But
cool
like
name.
he's talking about the names,
Oh yeah,
like Prince Heinrich, King
Heinrich,
Ghidorah.
King Ghidorah. That's a badass boat name. Ours are states.
I mean, they had Bismarck and Tirpitz.
Yeah.
Those are pretty.
Tirpitz-
Those are actually cool
those are-
names.
those
I'm
are
not even.
bad.
Turpitz
Badass,
is
dude.
really cool.
I'm
Tirpitz
very,
is
very biased because Bismarck is my favorite battleship ever. But
yeah, and that's not even like game. That's not even Osborne.
no, that's like legit.
that's
I
just
think
boat.
I think Bismarck is the coolest ship to ever be laid.
We should go visit Bismarck.
It's
At the bottom
underwater,
of the ocean.
Yeah,
It's
get like
under-
James Cameron. Be like, hey bud, let's go visit Bismarck.
and he'd be like, "Let me film.
Let me film a movie. Come on, just
Come
one
on,
movie.
come on.
Come on, just one movie,
Come on,
please.
just one, just one." I already signed it for 3 sequels. I'm James Cameron.
Andy, do you have a favorite boat?
Favorite boat? I'm kind of biased towards Yorktown just because I've been there so many times.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's I would have to probably be an aircraft carrier.
Yorktown. You know what I wish they didn't do? I wish they didn't sink Enterprise.
Yeah, they did that with a lot
They
of
didn't
ships.
sink it.
That's I'm not saying in the war. I'm saying after the war.
I'm saying they didn't sink it. They dismantled it.
Yeah, that's right.
She
yeah, they
was
scrapped it.
dismantled.
They scrapped
She
it.
was scrapped.
I wish they didn't do that.
That was stupid. You had the
That
single,
was the most decorated.
the most decorated ship in all of the war,
Yeah, and
and you just decided,
yeah, like
take it
right now.
apart.
I know a lot of people. It's like when I see like posts about like ships and stuff. The comments always seem to be 50-50 where people are like, no, we shouldn't have little kids running around on these war museums and stuff. We should honor the boat and scrap it. And I'm like, no, I don't think you should do that.
That's
I
history.
think, yeah, exactly. I think they're fucking sweet museums.
But yeah, I would imagine if like remember that night before we went to Yorktown, we were looking on the internet and finding all the boats of the war, and it said like their fates, whether they were
Mhm.
sunk or scrapped after the war.
Yeah.
And there were so many that survived the war, but were just scrapped later on. Imagine if all of those were museums that we could go to.
I
That
mean,
would be so cool.
Fuck, we went to see North Carolina,
Yeah, that was badass.
the North Carolina of World War II.
Yeah, that was badass.
That was like the most decorated battleship of the
Yeah.
whole war.
Yeah, I think the Japanese like lied about sinking it 4 times.
Because they wanted to raise morale.
Yeah, 'cause they
I
wanted to
think
raise
they
morale. They're like,
literally did
yeah.
it just to raise morale because it was the most feared battleship
Mhm.
in the war.
Shit was bussing, dude.
Imagine.
And it was like cool. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
That's fine.
like when you're on the ship, like with Yorktown and North Carolina, you go to a certain part of the ship and there's like a plaque and it says what happened here. On the Yorktown, there's a big black circle in the
It's up on the bridge.
up on the bridge where a bomb struck, and it's insane to think about that. And then on the North Carolina, there's like a welded, like repaired mark on one of the smokestacks, I think, where there was accidental friendly fire, and like you read what happened and stuff. And it's just so cool to actually like be there and witness that shit. I think it's a really good reminder to people like why war sucks. Also, on top of how badass that ship is, or ships in general.
Imagine if Yamato didn't sink.
Imagine if Nagato left port.
You know what's crazy? I think it,
Imagine if Nagato fucking left port.
I think it was there was a Japanese battleship that did go back after the war. I think it was Nagato. and then they ended up sinking it themselves.
No, Nagator was bombed in port.
Nagator.
There was a boat. There was a Japanese.
I don't know. I think I know which one you're talking about, but I don't remember the name. Nagato was 1000% bombed at port.
Okay. I forget. Luke, you'll have to search this. Let me explain it real quick. So there was a Japanese battleship.
Are you sure it was a battleship?
I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive.
Or no, maybe Yamato. Yamato was the one that was bombed at port.
Yamato was sunk at sea.
Yamato was sunk at sea.
Was Yamato sunk at sea?
Yeah, Yamato got fucked up.
Because they kept it behind for most of the war.
Yeah, and then in 1945,
one time it went out, it got just destroyed.
Yeah, Nagato was sunk as a target in Operation Crossroads.
What was like the twin ship of Yamato? That might help me.
Give me a second. I have to look up Yamato class battleship.
I'll describe this real quick because it's pretty short. But there was a ship after the war. They put literally 6 crewmen, 3 to 6 crewmen on this boat, and they just sailed it out to sea because they knew it was sinking anyway. So they just sailed it out to sea and waited for it to sink. And it was just leaking oil. Half of the propellers gave out. They were stranded at sea when all the propellers gave out. There were still dead bodies in the hull of the ship. It was just a fucking mess. And they just, instead of, repairing it or anything, they just sent it out to sea.
It's none of the Yamato class.
It's not.
No, because the Yamato class are Yamato, Musashi, and Shinano. But Shinano was later converted into an aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
Shinano was actually a super carrier, Shinano was supposed to be the thing that kind of saved the war, but it never got finished in time.
I think there's one picture of Shinano.
There's one.
Yeah.
It's 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Well, she was a battleship before she became an aircraft carrier. And then it was actually USS Archerfish that sunk her.
Archerfish.
God, it's really bugging me that I can't find the name of this ship because that story is really cool. I remember reading it on Reddit. It was it was from the account of the guy who sailed the ship. I think he was an American. He was basically in charge of sailing the ship out to its death or something. Crazy cool story.
No idea.
It's really bugging me.
Is it from a port in Japan?
I think so.
After the war?
Yeah.
I'm unsure. I have no idea.
Oh man, it was such a cool story. It's really bugging me that I can't remember.
I'm trying to look.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look after the cast.
The only thing I found is a merchant vessel.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look after the cast because it's really bugging me, and I think you guys would really enjoy the story.
Was it Mutsu?
Mutsu. What is the story? Because I remember they had to tow the boat. They had to tow the boat eventually. They got 2 tugboats to pull the boat.
Sunk by internal explosion.
I don't know.
It's the only real one I'm finding is the battleship Mutsu.
I'll find it after the cast because I know I wasn't delusional because I remember everything about the story.
This just makes me want to go see what ship is in Norfolk.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, I want to go down there.
Yeah, we need to plan a trip to Wisconsin.
We have to plan a trip to fucking Texas too because Alabama's there.
Yeah, Wisconsin will be a lot easier.
Well, yeah.
Isn't there a
drive?
Isn't there a German U-boat?
There is
a U-boat in a museum
in Denver.
It's in Indiana or
Indiana?
Illinois or something.
Yeah, it's in I forget what museum it's in, but there's
Detroit?
German U-boat.
I'm sure a quick Google will be able to find it.
German U-boat museum. U-505 in Chicago.
Yeah,
Chicago. That'd be cool to see.
What if we could go inside?
Museum hours, 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.
If we can go inside the U-boat.
That'd be cool.
There's no way they don't let you in. Look how big this fucker is.
It's
pretty big, man.
Just walk outside it. You'll get the whole fucking gist of it.
I'd be cool with that.
I would be cool with that. I'd
inside.
rather go inside.
Yeah.
That thing's fucking massive
Yeah.
and inside a building.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't that crazy though? I just had the realization, when we went to Dayton to the Air Force Museum, we saw the actual plane that dropped the first atomic bomb.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That is wild.
We also have to go to London because Belfast is there.
Belfast is in
yeah.
London, yeah.
The Belfast.
The
Belfast.
Not New Belfast or whoever.
The
Well,
good
we saw
Belfast.
Laffy. Not
Not
the
the
real
Laffy.
Laffy,
The Laffy got
We didn't see
sank.
the
Laffy.
Yorktown. We did see the North Carolina.
Yeah, we saw the North Carolina though. That's the only Ozzer Lane boat we've seen so far.
And I like North Carolina.
I like North Carolina.
She's cool.
Yeah, we gotta see more boats.
Yuki. We haven't done that in a while.
It has been a minute. Well,
I really like
something-
boats. Sorry.
I love boats.
Boats are cool
They're
as
so
fuck.
cool. Boats are so cool.
You guys get into planes. I'm not into the planes. I'm into boats more.
I fuck with planes hard.
I fuck with planes hard, but lately, since I've met you, I've been getting way more into boats. 'Cause
Boats are fucking cool.
boats like this. It's cool because very rarely will you find a plane with like a really crazy history, but boats just have that appeal to them, you know?
Well, because they build them to last for the whole war if they can.
Yeah.
Planes, they just kind of make a bunch of them and hope
Yeah,
that
like-
some of them
Fly
survive.
missions.
Like the pilot of the plane, yeah, like my favorite pilot was Pappy Boyington. But like with boats, it's like the whole boat, you know, like the history of,
You got 400
Wisconsin.
people running a whole boat.
yeah. But they're just so cool, so fascinating.
It's so cool. I'm not into planes like you guys. I liked going to the Air Force Museum.
Uh-huh.
It was sick. It's really neat. You guys are like, oh, there's fucking the cum dragon. I'm like,
Oh, the cum dragon
I'm like-
109.
I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever.
Oh yeah, Memphis Belle was there. The Memphis Belle.
The Memphis
They had
Belle.
a fucking ME 262.
That was the first time I had ever seen German planes or Japanese planes.
Yeah, that was the first
Ever.
Zero I ever saw.
Yeah, you're saying that. I'm like, I don't fucking know, but
It's still cool. At least you go and appreciate
like,
it.
it's neat. I still think it's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't understand.
hmm
But
I
like,
thought the World War I section was really interesting too.
Yeah, that was cool. It's a plain guy thing. You wouldn't get it.
oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Me and Rudy.
Didn't realize you were gonna out me here.
Big plain guys, me and Rudy.
Listen, dude. Listen. I have anti-air.
Torpedoes.
I just think boats are so fucking neat
Mhm.
because they can't just be shot down.
Oh, you know where else? You know what would be one of the coolest to go see? Arizona.
I would like to go see Arizona.
That would be crazy.
Yep.
Cool.
I think there's actually a boat museum docked in Hawaii as well.
I think they have one of the Japanese midget subs. I think you can go see a midget sub somewhere.
That'd be cool. I'd like to go see that.
Yeah, like a 3-person sub, basically built for suicide.
Yeah. It just makes me think of the first U-boats designed by the Germans.
Where did I see this? The other day? The Japanese had a torpedo sub. One person gets inside, and it's basically like a kamikaze for a sub.
Yeah, because they couldn't figure out how to put weapons on them.
Yeah, so they
So they're just kind of like,
one
hey,
dude literally get in like a torpedo and just pilot it.
Have fun.
it was
yeah.
Pearl Harbor in the water.
Yeah, pretty much. It was crazy. I was like, well, I didn't know they had those. That is insane.
For those of you that don't know, when Germany was first designing the U-boats, they thought that in order to stop them from sinking, the big brain play was to put a mine on the end of a big stick off the front of the fucking sub. So they would take the sub, swim over to a boat, touch it with the mine, and the U-boat was supposed to be fine, and they'd blow up the ship. Needless to say, didn't work like they had it on paper.
There's that German engineering.
It's
Now
better
we
than
have
the
BMW.
history of American subs.
Jesus.
Oh, I forget the
Don't
history
you
of
know?
American subs.
So American subs, when they built the first sub, the man who designed it got in and it leaked and sank to the bottom of the ocean. He died in it. So they're like, well, I guess that didn't work. They pulled it out, buried all the bodies, tried to fix what they could, sent it back out. It sunk and killed everyone in it. Because they couldn't figure out how the fuck to get people to breathe in the sub.
It's all about that trial and error.
American sub history is not based.
No, it's not. I mean, it's better than the Germans. The Germans were really like, put a stick on it.
At least their
Stick
stayed like
mine.
afloat. At least they could move theirs.
I guess, but there was one big oversight with it. They put a bomb on the end of it and said, go, go.
It's just not 100-pounder. It's not gonna do much.
And a 100-pounder.
Do you know if it's a meme, that video, or the like news, the report of like was it Russians that would train dogs to go under tanks?
No, that's real.
Is that real?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know about that, Tippy?
Mm-mm.
The Russians would put bomb vests on dogs and train them to go underneath enemy tanks and blow them up. They only trained on Russian tank models. So the dogs would go under the Russian tanks and blow them up instead of going under the other tanks.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. Dogs were used a lot in...
Was that World War II?
I think that was World War II.
Mm-hmm.
But they tried to train dogs to go under tanks, but they used their tanks as models.
Oh, T-34s, where? Oh, shit, Philo, go away.
Would you go away for a Scooby snack? The fucking Japanese tried to use bees.
Fuck bees.
They were actually, no, this is like really serious. Like they could have actually fucked us up bad.
With bees?
They were making bees bioweapons.
No way.
So they were genetically modifying bees to be like they could kill people, and they were going to just release them in America.
No way.
Yep.
Speaking of bioweapons, I just watched this video the other day about the UK. They were working with something along the lines of anthrax. I don't think it was anthrax, but their plan was to wipe out like basically all meat production in Germany by feeding cows and getting them this pesticide that will kill them. So then obviously Germany can't like harvest meat, or it was a huge plan that would have crazy fucking consequences if the UK did it. And Winston Churchill was all for it. He was game to do this.
Really?
So
Winston Churchill was a shitbag.
He was fucking shit.
He was a shitbag.
So the UK amps up a ton of these patties that they were going to drop in pastures in Germany and feed all these animals. But the tides of the war turned and they never did it. So they had a ton of these, like 500,000 of these patties with, I can't remember the fucking bioweapon that was in it, but it wasn't good. It was not great. So they put them all on this island, and the island, you can't go there because you will die. But I didn't know that the UK was so invested and ready to use bioweapons to basically wipe out Germany. I'm like, that's fucking bonkers.
It's news to me.
Dude, you got to think about it. World War II is the most fucked up war we've ever had.
Absolutely.
I mean, we literally made atomic bombs to end the war.
Yeah. Who's got the bigger boom?
You think they're not going to just kill a few fucking cows in the war? The Allies weren't any better. I'm not.
No, they really weren't. I mean,
the Axis was definitely worse.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
But the Allies were not.
The Axis also got some pluses out of how shitty they were, though.
Yeah. Everyone committed war crimes.
Like, thanks to Hitler, modern medicine advanced very rapidly. Not in a very humane way, but it did.
Yeah. Oh, see, that's what sucks.
As bad as it is to admit it.
Yeah. I know there's a bunch of like ethical questions you can ask. Like, was it ethical for, say, like the Germans to perform those medical procedures? Because they did learn stuff, but the way they did it was not ethical. So in the end, was it ethical?
I would say overall we learned more about fucking rocket technology than anything. And just
I know. Yeah, I know that, but
weaponry.
I know that. I'm just talking.
I really don't. I've read this a lot. I really don't think they learned too much from performing those experiments on people. I mean, I may be wrong, but from what I've read, there wasn't a whole lot gained from that.
That's what I've heard too.
At least in like the concentration camps, at least.
Yeah.
But I mean, we just kind of said, German scientists are good to go. Come to America, give us rockets.
Yeah, I mean, that's a
It's all
whole cup of coffee for another day.
That's a whole fucking bag of chips and a meal.
That's some tea.
That is some tea.
That's some Earl Grey. That's some real Earl Grey. Earl.
Oolong.
That's some oolong. I'm about out for it today, though.
Yeah, clock out. We had a busy
gotta
day.
punch out. We don't want you doing no overtime.
Punch out. I don't get paid for this.
Yeah, you're damn right you don't. You step overtime.
Jesus Christ.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, you're fucking right you don't.
Hey, boss, I got 42 hours this week. Huh? 40?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Your salary. Don't worry about that overtime stuff. Just keep working.
All right. Well, that's all I,
I feel
got
like
for
I'm
today.
being disrespected right now. I go to your fucking convention, I sell your product, and I don't even get paid for it.
Oh yeah,
You got a hat.
While we're at it, while we're at, let's just plug the new Mekon shit.
Oh yeah, new Mekon dropping tonight at like midnight. We got that hoodie.
You know, Mekon that we've mentioned on the podcast once in this whole
Done
fucking
it, like,
69
I was gonna
episodes.
say,
Time.
This podcast is sponsored by Mekon Clothing Co. New drop. Got a new hoodie, 3 new shirts, new stickers for your sick ride. Everybody wearing these Neko beanies.
This was unintentional, by the way.
Yeah, this was actually unintentional. We didn't plan to wear the same hats. I swear to God, we didn't.
Luke wears that all the time. I either wear like this or a snapback.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess everyone said fucking Neko beanie.
Yeah,
Fucking
pretty
Neko
much.
beanie.
Yeah,
folk
new
today.
Mekon drop. So if you guys are listening, go check out mekonclothing.com for your new anime gear. Get your drip going.
And if you're in the Pittsburgh area, we might be at Teco. Haven't heard back yet. It seems like they're pretty slow with replies and stuff.
So we might be.
But if you're in the Pittsburgh area, stop by the Mekon booth if we're there. Hopefully.
Sorry. I need to eat one more chocolate so I can finish my art.
What are you making?
I know what he's
Is
making.
that a dick?
All right, guys. Well, without anybody else have anything?
Sancho, I still love
Sancho,
you. Please,
yeah.
marry me. Please, 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 please. Thorpe, what can people pay for this podcast?
We don't charge anything for this podcast. There is no fee, no advertising. We only ask that you guys share the podcast if you learn anything interesting. That is the one fee we charge, a share.
Please share our podcast. Please, I'm begging. Please.
All right,
Please.
guys. Without further ado, one thing before I go: Hungry Man wears Mekon Clothing Co., so you should too. We'll see you next week at the last episode of season 1 of the podcast. Episode 69. We'll be hitting you hard, left, right, sideways, 69 position.
Oh yeah, there will be an epic Hello Harem Best Moments compilation coming out.
Yes, there will be. So we will upload on the channel all the best moments from episodes.
Season 1.
Season 1. Everything from season 1. The best, funniest clips that we could find. All for your guys' entertainment. That will come out after episode 69. So look forward to it, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share the podcast very much, please. We're really trying to get our numbers up for season 2, and we can't do it without your guys' support. So thank you for supporting the podcast so far, and we'll see you next week on the last
ready.
episode of season 1.
Be ready next week when I bring mad heat for Anime of the Week. I got you guys.
See you later, guys. Take care.